The F1 show has been making its way to Las Vegas for a whole year now. Even though this track is getting a lot of attention, there is a lot of bad news and stories about it already, and top drivers have already said they wouldn't run on it. It will depend on how hot the track is, and costs have gone through the roof. Can the most luxurious Grand Prix be the least interesting F1 race if there was only one? F1's most important race has been the Las Vegas GP, because it's in Las Vegas and everything is expensive and flashy there. The streets of the Nevada city were fixed up to meet F1 car norms though. There are, however, high hopes for this city circuit, which is not like most others. The rubber bins for the new tack haven't been put on yet, and the track will be 4 degrees Celsius over the weekend of races. In 1978, drivers had to warm up their tires and run on a 5 degrees Celsius track, so this means that the record is likely to be broken. That's not even the worst thing about drivers getting their tires warm. The track isn't like Onza 2 that has downforce, and turns tires take longer to heat up on Main Street because it is long and doesn't have many turns. For some reason, this situation came to life for the first time since 1978. The race organizers didn't think it would be cold in November. We all know that the DRS makes it harder to pass, so on a track with long straights, we probably won't see any interesting or anticipated defensive moves because drivers will want to keep their tires warm. Since it's 4 degrees Celsius and the track feels like driving on ice, the cars might not hit their top speed. In general, it will be hard for the grid and teams to set up the cars. Ross Brawn, who was in charge of Formula 1 until 2022, said, "The tire company's taken into account how cold it gets at night, which we hadn't thought of at first. Tire makers have worked hard to make tires that can handle that. There are new problems to solve, but I think it will be great." Fans expect something amazing, especially since tickets to this show cost a lot. VIP passes for the whole weekend spiked to $1 million when F1 said that this show would move to Las Vegas and hold one of the most expensive races in the sport. Prices went through the roof as expected. The race was almost sold out, but sales have slowed down as people lose interest in the pricey event. Instead, locals protested the violence in the sport while athletes were recovering and getting ready for the tour. The prices are now half of what they were before the route was made public, which you might think is great news for tourists, but it's not. After the first year, the race might not happen again. Ricciardo and Hamilton are excited to be there because it was on their bucket list. Other racers like Verstappen have described why the F1 Caravan will race in Las Vegas. He said, "To begin with, we're not there for the race, but for the show. I'm not too interested in how the system is set up. I'd rather go there, do my thing, and then leave. That will be taken care of when I'm ready." Still, there's a lot to do. The model still needs to be used. I really don't know the track. The last time I tried it on F1, I think I hit more walls than straight lines. I hope that won't be the case when I get there by car. We haven't done much at night before, and it will be harder than in Brazil because it will be cold. Track grip is unknown. Things could go wrong because it's all brand new. Who and for what in a race show? Maybe not, but they could be partners for F1 and the whole thing. I'm not interested again. In the past, luxury has mellowed out. A few months ago, the Wynn Las Vegas offered a $1 million ticket package that included luxury box seats and a 3-bedroom duplex house. This is why the average 35% drop in sales is to be expected when buzz drops. Well, I said earlier in the video, people in Las Vegas have had enough of the chaos and damage that all the upgrades have caused. This is one reason why grandstand tickets, which cost $22,000 last year, are now only $1,000. Overhead bridges around the course had protection films put on their windows so that fans could not see the course from above. It was hard to see the track plan, the roads, and the new Las Vegas sphere through this. What does the expert think besides Verstappen's view? Hamilton and Ricciardo say that the F1 Caravan will go to one of the most beautiful races. "It's great to be here," said the 7-time world winner. A number of times in my life, it's silly to think that a Grand Prix will come here. A long time has passed since I showed. F1 is getting a lot of attention, and people will come out just to see it. This is just a taste of what we'll see in 2024. What was the first Miami was great this year. Austin is a lot of fun and does well. Vegas does have one more thing though. I believe that a small area has a lot of energy. I'm not sure how we'll get around at the race this weekend. It's going to be the busiest time in Vegas. It will be fun to race. It's important to remember that this is a street track. Many drivers and fans don't think the sport needs to add these courses. A true race fan would rather go to actual track than where we are now. Even more interesting is the fact that Las Vegas has already had a race, though it was very different. Even so, it was one of the worst efforts in the history of the sport. East Sakes to race in 1981 went over 2.2 miles of asphalt. The track was built in 45 days on a 75-acre patch of grass and parking lot land between the Las Vegas Strip and Interstate 15. Since most Formula 1 fans are from Europe, the race will begin at 1 p.m. local time. The bright lights of the famous strip will make the experience even more luxurious. In 2022 and 2023, the sport had a hard time getting 18-inch tires warm, and doing that on what might be the coldest track in history is not good for the cars. No matter how good or bad the show is, the race will tell us. What do you think about all of this? Do you think the tires will be warm enough for good traction? Are you excited about the race? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the track if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.
You know the rules, and so do I.